We are back in the United Kingdom, non-EU edition. And it is just as glorious as I remember it. Rolling green fields, a threat of rain at any moment, and of course, very, very narrow roads. Whew! Just cut these hedges back for the love of Churchill.
The quest to resurrect the Barakuda begins in Somerset, England. During the Second World War, this beautiful countryside was home to a crucial Royal Navy base. Today, the Navy has left, but in its old hangars stands the Fleet Air Arm Museum. The number of priceless aircraft in here is astonishing. It's hard to believe there could be anything missing from this collection, but there is. Here to tell me about a special project to bring a lost legend back to life is curator David Morris.
Josh, good to meet you.
Good to meet you as well. What an awesome museum. Let's start with that. This place is cool.
It's the biggest collection of historic naval aircraft in Europe. We've got 103 aircraft in the collection in total.
And a Concorde.
And a Concorde.
And while this Concorde is very cool, it's not the plane I've come here to see.
You want to see the Barakuda?
I want to see the Barakuda.
You want to see the Barakuda. Well, we're standing next to the Barakuda.
Wait, where is the Barakuda?
This is the Barakuda. This is the Barakuda. This is our latest project, the Barakuda Live, the big rebuild. We are at the start point of a massive project to rebuild an aircraft which doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
This just doesn't make sense to me that there isn't a single one of these planes left in the world.
More than 2,600 built for the Royal Navy during World War II, more than any other naval type of aircraft, but not a single one exists today, either shot down, crashed, or scrapped immediately after the war.
So the other thing to me that's mind-blowing, or if I'm being less diplomatic, crazy, is that you're attempting this at all. How many individual components would you guess were in a Barakuda?
It's got to be tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands?
Tens of thousands.
And you need to find each and every one of those from crashed planes.
Yep.
And then reassemble them.
That's right.
That's it, you're nuts. You're officially crazy.
And if that doesn't sound hard enough, get this. The original blueprints for the plane are also lost, meaning engineers have to write their own instruction manual as they rebuild.
And these are real pieces from real Barakudas?
Real pieces from real Barakudas. At the moment, that is probably the best version of a Barakuda I can show you.
Let's scale up the model. Meet the Ferry Aviation Barakuda, a carrier-based three-man bomber with a 40-foot wingspan and matching length. The Barakuda also had numerous unique design features, including a high wing and prominent tail elevators, as well as an observer cabin for the bombardier below the tail. To be instantly identified by friendly aircraft, the Barakuda featured not a Union Jack, but this distinctive display of British colors. More importantly, the plane was powerful enough to carry heavy ordnance, bombs weighing up to 1,600 pounds.
And it takes part in a fairly legendary operation in World War II, right?
It was used in a number of theaters of war, not least the attack on the German battleship Tirpitz in northern Norway.
So this is a real hero of World War II?
It is, an unsung hero.
Now it just needs to be revived. Show me how you're doing it. Please,
right, come this way.
David brings me to the workshop, where the team spends painstaking hours salvaging the pieces they'll need to put the Barakuda puzzle back together.
Josh, meet Will and Tony.
Hey.
Hello.
Will, nice to meet you.
Will.
Tony.
Hi. Nice to
How's
meet
it
you, Josh.
going? What do we got going on here?
So we're disassembling this rear fuselage from a Barakuda that crashed in Scotland.
The Barakuda they're working with crashed in 1944, but with some hard work, many of its pieces can be put to good use.
The whole thing's going to have to come apart, and that's so that we can
every
find...
rivet,
every rivet, every part, so that we can find all the little tiny bits and pieces that we can reuse in the build.
I mean, there are thousands upon thousands of rivets on the skin of this plane. All right, well, don't let me hold you up. You've got a lot of rivets to punch here. Please.
Once the parts that can be saved have been identified, they need to be restored before being marked for reassembly. Delicate work that happens in a machine that the team here lovingly refers to as the blaster, which they let me take a crack at.
Just be ready when it goes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like a power washer if your goal is to take the siding clean off your house. An abrasive aluminum oxide grit is propelled at the metal at about 80 pounds per square inch. Needless to say, it's important to watch your fingers. Eat your heart out, Mike Rowe.
We've found your new career now.
This is it. I'm never leaving here.
Why do you think I'm here? Open the door, and there's your blasted piece.
Look at that. Like new.
The team here has plenty of work ahead, but they have painstakingly restored a Barakuda's engine, an immense piece of machinery known as a Merlin, which I helped them wheel into position at the front of the plane.
It's starting to look like a plane.
It is.
Now, in terms of parts, do you have more than what I've seen in the workshop here?
We've got a lot more.
You've got a lot more.
A lot more.
What's a lot?
As to the other tens of thousands of parts in the world's most challenging Lego set, David leads me to the nearby reserve hangar.
David, this place is a wreck. I mean, it is a literal wreck. This is outrageous. Is this all from Barakudas?
This is Barakuda wreckage that we're working from for the project.
Okay, if you were to take all of this material and fuse it all back together, could you reconstruct a Barakuda?
No.
No.
It doesn't give us enough material to do a Barakuda.
What are the big ticket items you're missing to finish this project?
Wing parts and tailplane parts.
To find those, they need more Barakudas, and they've been hard at work in researching where to locate them.
We have a lead at the moment on one that could actually be a Barakuda wreck that we would dearly like to explore further.
I'd be happy to go look at it for you.
That sounds great, but that's easier said than done.
It's in a challenging place?
Very much so.
Perfect.
For David's team, this is clearly a labor of love, as they honor an unsung hero of World War II. Me? I've just been drafted. While David continues to supervise the rebuild, I'm being dispatched to hunt for a Barakuda. 8 hours to the north, in St. Andrews, Scotland. St. Andrews is an idyllic seaside town that's world famous as the ancestral home of the sport of golf. And for the sake of our ratings, I will not be golfing. It ain't pretty. Instead, I drive outside of town and pull over near a lonely ruin, standing in the middle of empty farmland. Here to explain how this is going to help our search for Barakuda parts is a true aviation expert, former Royal Air Force jet pilot Archie Liggett.
Archie!
Josh!
Beautiful weather.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome to Scotland.
Yeah, exactly. What else would you expect? All right, Archie, why have you marched me all the way out here in this field? Where are we?
Well, Josh, this may look like just farmland, but once upon a time, this was a big, busy airbase. You can see an old control tower behind us. And
this was a control tower?
Control tower here. So back in 1946, this place would have been reverberating with the noise of big aero engines.
So what was this place?
Well, this place was initially Royal Air Force Dunino.
Okay. And there would have been Barakudas out here?
Oh, definitely Barakudas here. Many types of aircraft here, yeah, but mostly Barakudas.
So why are we here? What's this story that there might be something here?
Back in the 1980s, I met a guy called Johnny Paul, who had been a maintenance worker here during the war.
Okay.
And Johnny confided in me that he witnessed Barakudas being buried on the airfield.
Being buried?
Being buried, yeah.
This airfield was once teeming with Barakudas, but after the war, the Navy decommissioned and disassembled them, discreetly burying the parts along with other military surplus on the grounds of the airfield. And maintenance worker Johnny Paul witnessed everything.
And did anybody notice him watching that?
Oh, he did. He was arrested, yeah.
He was arrested?
He was arrested by the military police and told he must never tell anyone about this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, where did he tell you it was buried?
It happened right close to a cluster of maintenance hangars.
Okay, so how do we figure out where that was?
Well, it's not going to be easy, but I think the best way would be from the air.
From above?
I think so.
You got a plane around here somewhere?
We got a helicopter.
That'll do.
Our ride is waiting nearby to give us a bird's eye view of Dunino Airfield.
Let's rock and roll.
The pilot gets light on the skids and we lift off, determined to scour this forgotten terrain for a buried Barakuda.
Okay, we got to figure out where we are on a base that no longer exists.
Hundreds of feet above farmland outside St. Andrews, Scotland, pilot Archie Liggett and I are looking for evidence of a burial. At the end of World War II, a maintenance worker named Johnny Paul claimed to witness the disposal of several legendary British bombers known as Barakudas after they were decommissioned. Not one Barakuda survives today, so resurrecting one would mean saving a priceless aviation treasure.
Josh, if we look at this old aerial photograph of the base, we can make out the hangars pretty clear here. Boy, this is an incredible photo. Look at all these planes lined up. These are Barakudas? These are all Barakudas. It's about 250, I think, if you count them on that picture. Oh, it's so heartbreaking when you see that, just to think that none of them exist anymore. Not a single one. Okay, Josh, you can make out those hangars now. Absolutely, yeah. Well, just coming onto the nose now, we can make out those hangars are still in existence. They've been reclad. Oh, those are those hangars? Yeah, that's them, still there. So Johnny said that the planes were buried west of that. Yeah, we're talking in the area between the trees that we can make out on the ground here and the actual road itself. That is where the aircraft are supposedly buried. Let's head over there and see what we see. Okay.
With our historic bearings established, we fly to the area described by the former maintenance worker. At the edge of the old airfield, Archie notices some very unusual topography.
You can see where the bend in the road and the strip of trees beneath us now, that green area. No, that doesn't look natural, does it? No, it doesn't. Look at the contour of that land right there. It's like a hill. It is. It looks like there's a bit of an unusual looking bump. There is something uneven there on that land. Yeah. Do you think that could be the dump site? Yeah, I think it really could be.
We return to Earth near the mysterious bump. To find out what's underground, I've called in an old friend who happens to be a local, geophysicist Dickie Bates.
Dickie Bates.
Oh, Josh.
How are you, man?
Great, Josh. Great to see you.
Great to see you.
Good, man.
This is Archie Liggett.
Oh, Archie, how you doing?
This is Richard Bates.
Hi.
We've worked together in a lot of far-flung places, you and I.
Mainly hot ones, though.
Mainly warm ones.
Yeah.
You finally got me to St. Andrews.
Yeah, I'm glad you could come and see this wonderful countryside.
Oh, beautiful weather, too.
Fantastic.
I'm thrilled that we're here in your backyard because this is a perfect case for you. We're searching for these potentially buried Barakuda, and from above, we do see something kind of strange here on the landscape. And you can see it from down here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as you come down along by the wee burn...
Sorry, the what?
The wee burn.
The wee burn?
Small river.
Small river, sorry,
Right,
sorry. I need a translator up here.
And you need a kilt, too, if you're going to stay much longer.
All right, fair enough. All right.
So down by the wee burn...
Yes.
You see the smoothness of the contours, and that's what hill slopes will do.
Right.
But then, superimposed on that, you've got these humps and bumps.
Yeah.
And that's not natural.
So you think there could be something buried here?
Absolutely there could be. The plane we're talking about, the Barakuda, is the first British all-metal aircraft. So, tons of metal.
Right.
That's great for a geophysical signature.
And to do that, we're using this equipment behind you?
Yeah, we'll use this electromagnetic sensor, and we'll control it with GPS.
And that can look underground about how far?
So the instrument can look down about 20 feet.
Wow, okay. So something's buried here.
We should see it.
We should see it. Let's get into it.
Okay. So, Josh, why don't you do the honors this time? Because I'm getting old and my back's getting bad.
When you say things like that, it makes me feel like the equipment's not safe, and that's why you want me to wear it.
But you've had all the children you want.
The electromagnetic conductivity meter will map beneath the ground surface by measuring variances in conductivity, allowing it to identify water, metal, and other anomalies.
Okay, Josh, we're going to have you go and do a series of parallel lines to the river.
The Weeburn?
Aye, you could do that too.
Aye, okay. You ready?
Go for it.
Parallel lines, here we go. I feel like I work at the circus.
Okay, Josh, at the end of the line there, turn to your left, 2 paces, and come back parallel. That's it.
Here?
Yeah, now come back parallel to your old line.
Okay, starting to get a little heavier now.
I continue my tightrope act until I've completely covered the hill and completely compressed my spine. Now it's time to examine the data and see what I've been walking on top of.
Okay, the big question, does your machine work? Do we have data?
Absolutely, it works. Not only do we have data, but we have data from all the sensors on it.
Okay, so a lot of material here.
A lot of material down here. So here you can see a map of the site.
These are targets?
So all of these are targets I've put in.
Whoa.
And those are the most obvious ones. I think there are probably even more. Do you see the change in colouring of
Yes.
the plot in here? It's almost certainly something like buried metal.
You think it's metal?
Absolutely.
Can you tell how big these spots are then?
Well, you can see the area extent of some of these patches is 10, 15 feet across.
So there might actually be something here.
Oh, no, there's definitely something here. What exactly it is, we're going to have to scrape the soil off and start digging it.
Okay, so now we got to turn some earth.
So I brought a trowel along with me.
Yeah, I brought a trowel with me too. Can I get the trowel?
The excavator will help us get down to the layer of our newly discovered targets. Also helping us is an archaeologist who's extensively researched Danino Airfield's role during World War II, Steve Lisko.
Here we go.
The operator uses the huge machinery to delicately cut into the ground over the first anomaly, shaving soil away one layer at a time. It's like watching King Kong repair a watch.
Go. Right away, something.
Oh, look.
Is this brick?
That is a brick.
That is a brick, look at that.
Indeed it is. Yeah, give it a wipe there in the
there's
frog.
something stamped.
W-E-M, and if that was complete, that would say YSS. It's from the Weems Brickworks, which is a 20th century product.
Would this be contemporary with World War II?
Oh, indeed it would. If you looked at any of the buildings that we've got on the site here, they'd be made with the same bricks.
Okay, so
So we're looking at some sort of deposition from the time of the airfield.
this is a great start.
It is.
And it tells us that Bates kind of knows what he's doing, which is surprising, I know, to all of us. Right
Well,
now.
I mean, I'm stunned.
While the backhoe continues working on the first site, Dickey focuses on other anomalies from his data nearby.
Okay, Paul, next spot is right here.
And those hits turn out to be just as productive.
Oh, what's that? That's got a shape to it. What have you found there, Josh?
I thought it was a wrench at first, but I'm not sure.
There could be a tool.
A tool of some kind?
Something here, guys.
Something here?
Well, what is that?
It's in a canister. Looks like a battery. It has terminals on the top, and it is heavy as hell. I mean, could this be aviation? I have no
If it's
idea.
aviation, I suspect somebody's going to be able to recognize that.
All right, well, we'll get this cleaned up a little bit, take some photos of it.
Okay.
And whatever this
And
is.
that as well,
Tools,
yes.
yeah.
That's a tool, I think.
A tool. This is more than just some ceramic and brick. We're now getting into maintenance or workshop material and possibly aircraft parts.
The battery is a tantalizing clue, but something else in this location is about to spark our interest.
There's something in here.
So spark plug.
That
Yeah.
is a sparking
That's
plug.
it.
Yeah, I
That's an
recognise-
aviation spark plug.
No question.
That's
Absolutely.
aviation. That's big.
Oh my lord, that's incredible.